Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to answer which is the better dividend stock to buy, Raytheon Technologies or Ford Motor Company. Now to answer this question I'm going to compare these two on their dividend yield, on revenue growth, on operating profit margin, and on valuation. So let's get started with the dividend yield. And according to this metric, Ford is ahead at a 5% dividend yield compared to a 1.98% dividend yield for Raytheon Corporation. But remember, when you're investing in a dividend stock, you're also interested in the change of the stock price because that could make or even improve your investment in the stock. So let's look at the other metrics that could influence the change of the stock price. So Ford revenue in the trailing 12 months, you could see this last couple of years has been very good for Ford. The supply chain shortages have worked in Ford's favor and revenue has surged to $169 billion. Raytheon, meanwhile, has also increased its revenue over the last couple of years at a trailing 12-month revenue of 70.57 billion, and Raytheon's prospects also look good given the war in Ukraine has alerted many countries to the need to increase their spending on equipment, on military equipment, and that's going to be good news for Raytheon going forward. The next thing I wanted to compare these two on is their operating profit margin, and they are very close in the last 5 years or so. Raytheon was ahead of Ford, but they've kind of matched up around 2019, and they've been similar, although Raytheon is slightly ahead here with an operating profit margin of 8.51% compared to the 7.47% for Ford in this metric. And if I had to forecast over the next few years, I would say Raytheon's prospects look better here because Ford is experiencing this boost because of the macroeconomic factors boosting the company's selling prices and profitability because consumers are just buying whatever is available in the auto market, and Ford is able to produce only the highest profit margin cars, right? It's choosing to sell the more lucrative models and not producing the less lucrative models. This scenario is not likely to last long term, although it will likely last at least for the rest of 2023. But longer term, it's going to be a more favorable market for consumers than it is right now, and they're going to have more choice and selection, and they're not going to just say, oh well, let me just pay up for the premium model, even though that's not the one that I want. Finally, let's compare these two on valuation, and judging by this metric, Raytheon is more than twice as expensive, selling at a forward price to earnings of 15.2 compared to Ford with a forward price to earnings of 6.23. Now, I will say that Raytheon deserves a premium valuation to Ford, mostly because Raytheon's got a strong backlog of orders. So investors in Raytheon have less uncertainty. They know what revenue is going to look like over the next several years because orders are already in. It's just a matter of Raytheon producing the equipment. Whereas with Ford, it's very cyclical. Investors don't know in the next downturn, in the next recession, what Ford's revenue will look like. Although having said that, I don't believe Raytheon deserves a more than 2x premium to Ford. I think it deserves a premium, but I think it's too much at 15 to 6. So for that reason, if I was to pick one of these two dividend stocks to buy today, I would pick Ford. I think relatively speaking, Ford stock's valuation is more favorable than Raytheon. And so I would pick Ford as my choice for the better dividend stock to buy. But that's all I've got for this video. Thank you for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.